to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my 488 Pista. The sun is shining and I am on my way to Topaz Detailing for very good reason. My Carrera GT is there and there is some very important yet exciting work being done to it. There's extensive work being done to it and I want to take you through the process. Now at this point it's already been dropped there on a truck. Mr. Turbo Transport has taken my Carrera GT on a truck to Topaz and I am following it up in the Pista, as you do. A fairly surreal situation, but the sun is shining and I thought, what better day to take this thing out, give it a little run and make sure it's all working. Now one thing I want to touch on before this video starts, I've recently been made aware of a video that has gone live from another YouTube and some Instagram stuff as well, stating and implying that going out and filming over the past few weeks has been irresponsible. I would just like to say in response to that, it is not morally nor legally reprehensible whatsoever if you're self-employed and you make a living out of going out and filming videos in a car and you enact social distancing and you're not breaking any form of regulations or laws. I feel as though I need to respond to that. I know my audience get it, but I'd like to say to that individual and anyone that still doesn't understand, me going out and filming car videos on my own, in my car like this, is work. This is a job. I make no secret of that on this channel. I am honest, I am real, I am upfront. It is monetized. This is my job. I am self-employed and I also cannot furlough. So whilst I am still working, I am enacting social distancing and this is well within my legal and moral rights to still be filming. I have brand partners I work with. They are relying on me to some extent to work with them and help their businesses. I also have other people that rely on me in other areas too. I cannot simply stop working. I will not have my mortgage paid for me by daddy or anyone else. So I'm continuing to work, I'm continuing to work safely, and I'm continuing to work legally. Hopefully that clears everything up, and if you've got any questions on that, please do refer to the government website and please do refer back to the government guidance over the past month or so and you'll see that it's been completely legitimate to continue working. Now then, moving on slightly but still sort of on that topic, I'm going to Topaz Detailing today. They are operating with skeleton staff, they've got policies and procedures in place, they are social distancing. The government very recently have actively encouraged people to go back to work. So Topaz are open to an extent, but it's not the usual kind of setup you will see at Topaz. The Carrera GT is in there, it's being worked on, but I'm going to have to keep my distance. I will be talking to Nabil there, and he's going to be going through what they're doing with the car, what they've discovered with the car, because it's not all good news. So yeah, hopefully all crystal clear, probably unlike the PPF we're about to look at. For now though, let's catch up when we get to Topaz. Inside Topaz here, my Carrera GT is just through there. We are at the stages where they've received the car, they've done an initial inspection on it. They're assessing the PPF that was already on the car and they're assessing the paintwork and they're going around it and basically doing a fine tooth comb. And indeed on the back of the car some of the PPF is starting to be applied. So I'm going to take you through the state of the PPF because it's not great, and also what's being done to rectify it. Also how you can avoid getting substandard PPF and a substandard job of application of PPF as well, because those two things are extremely important. What a lot of people don't realise is that not all PPF is created equal. It's crucially important you put the right film on your car. As I'm sure you can appreciate, you don't want PPF discolouring, you don't want it peeling, you don't want it providing inadequate protection, and you also want to make sure that it actually comes off properly when you need it to, and also when it is damaged, it self-heals. So for that reason, I actually only use a brand of film called Suntech. That is the film that they use here at Topaz. I always specify I want Suntech film and not other stuff. So here we go, then we're coming in. I've got to be quite guarded about what I actually film in here, because there's some one-of-ones in here and some exclusive stuff. They're very careful here at Topaz with customer confidentiality and discretion, so I'm going to be a little bit careful, but my Carrera GT is right here. So then, here she is, and what you see here is masking tape flagging up all the flaws on the PPF they've discovered on the front end alone. So for every single piece of masking tape here, there is an issue they have picked up with the PPF. Now that can be things like a little bit of orange peel there, or it coming up in the corner there, a little imperfection there next to that piece of masking tape. Every single little error has been picked up, and these are errors that were on the PPF that originally came with the car. Now I don't think what came on the car originally was Suntech, and I know that it wasn't applied at Topaz. Whilst it has protected the paint to an extent underneath, it's going to need some work and some careful removal to get it off without damaging the paintwork underneath, because we don't know how it was applied and we don't know what film it is. And as I say, it's starting to lift, it's overlapping, and as you can see on the edge there, you can just see the edge of the film the whole way around. It's not fitted properly, and to be honest with you, it just looks like a mess. There are joins everywhere as well, as flagged here, and as you can see there are bubbles all over it. Basically, it's bad film and it's been applied badly, so it's worst of both worlds. I'm going to get Nabil here to come in and talk about it in a little bit more depth, because he's the master here at Topaz. We're going to go into why it's important to choose the right film and actually get it applied properly by some experts. So we've got Nabil here then, he knows what he's talking about far more than I do. I've given you a little run round, I've tried to explain what's going on, but I think it's probably best you keep everyone up to date with what's happening with the car with a little bit more technical knowledge. So, off the bat then, I'm going to point the camera at you here.
I think the tape tells the story of what's going on here.
It looks like it's been cut shaving.
Well, basically, okay, so obviously you brought the car to us. The car's got PPF on it already.
Yep.
We see this so many times. The car comes in, it's got PPF, people think, okay, it's got PPF, great. The car comes in, we look at it, we show the customer exactly what is not in our standard and what makes us different to everyone else. And then 9 out of 10 times I go, actually, do you know what, take it all off and start again.
Yeah.
It's just way of life. Unfortunately, it's better to just spend a bit more, make sure that it's a reputable firm that's doing it, rather than just skimping a little bit and then getting someone else to do it that doesn't know what they're doing. To give you an example, should we talk about what's going on here?
Yeah, just point out, because I tried to touch on what's happening here and I tried to pick out some of the errors, but from kind of your experience and what is happening here, because it looks like a bit of a mess.
I mean, you've got a couple of things. First thing is you have areas here where it's all been hand cut. So you see it's all overhanging first of all. So the film is actually overhanging the edge.
Yeah, we can see that.
Come off, and that's all been hand cut. So basically someone's gone around with a scalpel and just cut all the way around this car.
That is terrifying.
And then here it goes inside, actually goes onto the paint. So when we take that off, hopefully that hasn't gone through the actual paintwork and hasn't actually cut. So
cutting on the car then, I just want to say with Suntech, there are patterns pre-printed for the cars, so it eliminates any cutting on the car. Am I talking sense?
You are talking sense.
Perfect.
Exactly what
we're off to a good start. This is good. I haven't embarrassed myself yet. All right, anyway, we carry on.
So in here you've got things like, if you have a look, it's like a little bubbling, etc. Those are
we're focused in there.
Yeah, those are compression marks. There's contamination underneath there. It's just, I mean, it's a pizza. The only way I describe it is a pizza with a lot of toppings, and all the toppings are really bad.
I like pizza.
Yeah, but it depends what kind of toppings you got. Yeah, but I mean, it's just got a plethora of different items. I mean, to really get a good job, there's a couple of things you have to think about.
Yep.
One, film. The film has to be good. So this film, unfortunately, isn't. I don't know what film it is.
We can't besmirch other brands, but it's not Suntech by the looks of it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not Suntech, and I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't. The orange peel content, the distortion is there.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have a good gloss, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the gloss it's a bit orange peely as well. I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera, but it's not great, and even I can pick that up.
No, exactly. So that's one thing. Another thing is that obviously you need to make sure you go to the right firm, so they'll be able to install it correctly in accordance to how it's been designed.
Yep.
Obviously Suntech, they have their own pattern database. You're able to go on there, cut it out, put it on, and crack on.
And those that supply the film, often they've been trained by Suntech as well. And I've been to the training facility. They don't hand you a scalpel and a piece of film and say get going. It's definitely not like that at all. So yeah, no, they're trained properly as well.
No, exactly. So that's the thing. So it's one of those things where you need to, there's a few things you have to think about when you're actually PPFing your car.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to look like this.
No, I mean this isn't a look. I don't think this is going to start a trend driving around looking like that, even without the masking tape.
No.
So plans then for this car. We are umming and ahhing at the moment. It's got drill holes on the front here where it did have a front plate, so I may well have some paint done on the front. We're going to work out, and this is something you can do here as well, we're going to work out whether or not this has had paint before. It looks like original paint all the way around, but we're just going to make sure. So you've got paint measuring devices, you can measure the thickness, so we're going to look at that once the film comes off. So for now though, we're going to get the film off. See what's going on. Nervous.
I want to see what's going on around here with all this. I hope there are no cut marks on it. That's the only thing I'm hoping for. There's no cut marks.
And if there are cut marks, then
we'll fix it. We'll fix it.
You can fix it as long as it's not too aggressive. I guess you can.
Yeah, you can either try to sand it and then polish it out, but 9 out of 10 times you're gonna have to paint it, and it goes upstairs in the paint booth.
Okay. no, it's quite alright. Oh, he spotted something else here. What's going on?
I mean, it's
What's happening here? I've got to keep my distance. I'm going to put my hand over here.
It's so bad. I mean, look at this. Honestly, it's just so. It's so obvious. It's absolutely insane.
It's pretty hellish. It means though, it's not altogether bad. It means that there are no stone chips. There may well be scalpel marks the whole way around it, but there are no stone chips. So. Yeah, and I suspect as well. Is there any discolouring to the PPF, or is that quite hard to tell?
You'll be able to see it once you take it off. So once you take it off the film, have a look at it.
Because I did have an F12 years ago, actually. This is a bad PPF tail, so it is relevant. I had an F12 years ago that they actually had to stretch to get over the bonnet, and then there was a horrible seam in it, and then the PPF went yellow. Yeah. This was early days. This was my black F12, so we're talking about sort of 4 years ago.
That's before I knew you.
Yeah, before we knew each other, and I had my PPF done elsewhere. So we'll get this off then. We'll have a little look. So the old film is coming off then. Actually, ironically, it looks pretty clear, so it's relatively new film. So before I bought the car, they actually said that it was having PPF put on it. I didn't necessarily believe that was going to be the case, but it turns out it's actually new film. However, it's not applied perfectly, and I don't know the brand of the film, so what I want is a brand that I trust on the car, and that's self-healing, and that isn't going to discolour, and I want it applied properly. So it's coming off. Looks like quite an aggressive process, but it's actually in very good hands. Being warmed up there and peeled off as we speak. What can happen with some films is it can turn yellow over time, as I mentioned earlier. So when this gets peeled up, it looks like kind of like a milky yellow colour. Well, that's coming off there as well. And good to see no paint is coming with it, which is always a good sign. Also with the car, just before I disappear then, there's one other thing I want to show you guys round here. On the back, some of the carbon is getting bubbling underneath it there. That is quite common with old cars. I mean, I say old, it's 14 years old. It's got a carbon diffuser here, so there is some bubbling underneath there as well. So Topaz are experts in kind of restoring carbon and dealing with lacquer and whatnot. They're going to look at re-lacquering and kind of filing that down, getting rid of any of the imperfections like that. It's also going to get a new number plate on it there. They haven't found any signs that this car has had aftermarket paint. Everything is pointing to the fact that this has got original paint all the way around it still as well. I know the seller of this car, I know him very well, I trust this car source, so I'd be absolutely amazed if there's anything untoward with it whatsoever. But it's nice just to be here at Topaz with them going through absolutely everything. Whilst we're here as well, I just want to show that big old engine. Le Mans and F1 derived V10. You'll often see with a lot of Carrera GTs as well, these springs have been replaced with yellow KWs. This has got the original suspension on it as well. For now though, I'm going to leave the Carrera GT in the capable hands here at Topaz. Part 2 of this series is coming very soon, when I'm going to pick up the car, find out exactly what they found with it, and all the new PPF is applied, and also the front bumper may well get the plate holes removed as well. So do stay tuned for that. Huge thanks to Sun, huge thanks to the guys here at Topaz, and make sure you check out their YouTube channel as well. It's actually doing more views a month than my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.